Hey everyone, Cleo here, and today I'll be introducing my February TBR, and I already have a guest. Hey! So, for those who didn't know him yet, this is Haya. He's my shelter cat, and he's waiting until he can get adopted, but somebody's coming to check him out today. So, considering the fact that he's such a sweetheart, he'll probably get adopted quite soon. So for February, my plans are pretty much to focus on new releases, because I have 4 pre-ordered books that are coming my way in the month of February. So I won't have a lot of books to show you because they still have to arrive. But I am also currently reading or listening to 2 books. So I'm currently reading on my commute to work Fantastic Voyage by Isaac Asimov. This is a sci-fi book in which a team of specialists in different fields have to set out on a mission to save an important scientist who has kind of like the key to deciding whether their side wins or the other side wins. And in order to save him, they have to be miniaturized to like the highest extent that has ever been done, travel into the body of this scientist and perform an operation on him to remove a blood clot that has gotten into his brain. So I've been trying to get more into sci-fi. I mean, I've enjoyed sci-fi books in the past. I've read a couple of them, not intentionally, just because they were on my radar or things like that. But I do feel like it's a genre that I don't explore too much, and I want to change this. This is a book that my dad actually gave to me, so he actually wanted to give me the Foundation trilogy, but since he only had that one in Dutch and I prefer reading English, he told me, like, I also have these 2, so there's another one lying around somewhere, Asimov books in English, and they're also way shorter, so it's a good attempt to see what I feel about his writing. I've been enjoying it so far, but I'm like halfway through or something at the moment, so I'll be finishing this book in the month of February. It is my commute book to work, so I'm getting about 20 pages a day done, so I mean, I think it'll be done next week, but yeah, I'll definitely get it done in February at least. The second book that I'm currently reading is a book that I'm listening to, so I'll show a picture here or something. Not that it's really necessary, because everybody on BookTube has read it in 2018 and has raved about it, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I was quite reluctant to get into this in part, just because hyped books always pose kind of a dilemma with me. I feel like, I don't know whether I'm like preset to hate hyped books or something like that, or to be more skeptical about it or something like that, but there's definitely a bigger risk of being disappointed by them just because everybody's been liking them so much, and then you go into these books with a lot of anticipation. But I guess part of the cure now is the fact that I know myself so well in this respect, and so the fact that the book is super hyped is no longer a reason for me to be like excited about it, but actually for me to go into it being like a bit reluctant, being a bit like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. But so I've been listening to the audiobook for The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo while playing The Sims. I've only done this one day so far, so I've only listened for like 2 hours or something like that, but I actually am super enjoying it at the moment. So the story of The 7 Husbands, in case you don't know it yet, is so this Evelyn Hugo is a major movie star from back in the day, and she is deciding that she finally wants to release her story. So she's been very secretive in the past, hasn't really let her personal life slip into like the general press or something like that, and so she is contacting a newspaper letting them know that she wants a particular person to do a sort of like expose, and she tells this person she wants her to write her biography, and basically the story then sets out to describe the 7 relationships he has, so the 7 husbands, well, not the 7 relations, the 7 husbands she's had. And we'll see from there, because that's as far as I've gotten. So I've really enjoyed it so far. I really like the narrative style and the characters so far. So they're both like really like empowered women who aren't afraid to stand up for themselves. I mean, the biographer does like say that she's kind of like second guessing herself at times, but I mean, it seems like it's a bit more like of a, I don't know, like a societal pressure or something, because she can stand up for herself if she's like kind of forced to do it. And she does come across as a woman who knows, who like, she doesn't come across as like a weak person or anything like that. She's very much a strong person who just doesn't realize she's strong yet. And so, so far I've been enjoying it, and I'll let you know at the end of the month what I feel about it. And then on the 5th of February, 2 books are coming my way. So the first one is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So a lot of people also have been talking about The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which came out I think in 2017, and I listened to it on audiobook in 2018, absolutely loved it. It's a YA story about like race in America basically, and this second book is also centered around African American teenage girl. This one wants to become like a major rap star, and apparently there's some facts coming out, or she's involved in something that kind of puts up a barrier for those plans. Honestly, I saw that Angie Thomas was coming out with a new book and I said, I want it, you know. The Hate You Give was so good that I absolutely wanted to give this book a go, no matter what it's gonna be about. Like, I'm not necessarily too much of a music fan or something like that, so we'll see how that plays out. But I don't necessarily feel like you need to be a fan of whatever your character is doing to be able to enjoy the book. So we'll just see how that works out. I'm definitely very excited about it, and I hope it's gonna be as good as The Hate You Give was. Second book coming out on the 5th of February, I might actually be more excited about. I don't know yet. There are pros and cons to this. So this is a fantasy novel, the first one in a trilogy by Marlon James. Now, if you don't know Marlon James a couple of years back was, well, it was actually the winner of the Man Booker Prize for A History of 7 Killings. And I read this book and I was not a fan. And this is also the reason why I said the thing about music not being my thing for On the Come Up, because A History of 7 Killings is about the assassination on Bob Marley, and I don't know whether it was the writing style, whether it was the subject, whether it was the characters not fitting me at all or something like that, me not being interested in characters at all, but I didn't really like A History of 7 Killings. But fantasy is my favorite genre, so in that sense I really want to give it a go, and I mainly want to give it a go because it was recommended by Eric. I'll link his channel down below. He called it somewhere in 2018 the best book of 2018. He said the best book of 2019 has been written already and you can all stop trying. And that really got me intrigued. I only found out it was the same writer as The History of 7 Killings afterwards. Well, or like later in this video, which is the only thing that kind of set me back on this. But this is a fantasy story that's supposed to be more like African inspired as well. I don't know the premise at all. I mean, I knew it of course when I saw that video, but I've totally forgotten about it, and that's fine by me. I like going into my books quite blind. But so I'm really looking forward to that one. But I'm kind of also like, yeah, I'm hesitant because of the experience I had with A Brief History of 7 Killings, but I do think that out of the 2 books I'm gonna give priority to Black Leopard Red Wolf. I haven't even said the name yet, so Black Leopard Red Wolf is coming out on the 5th of February by Marlon James, and that's the book that I'll be giving priority out of these 2. And then later in the month, not entirely sure at what time, I have another book coming my way, and I'm also gonna have to look up this title because I've totally forgotten the title. On the 21st of February I have another one coming my way, which is Master of Sorrows by Justin Call. And the premise of this is a little bit like, so it's an apprenticeship of a I think it was a boy, like it was a boy doing a mass magician apprenticeship, I think, and the premise is a bit like, what if you realize that the big bad evil that needs to be fought in the world is actually you? Intrigued. So the 21st is coming out. I hope to be receiving it that day, or maybe the 22nd, hopefully, but I've had some bad experiences with pre-ordering. I've had some arrive like more than a week later. So if it arrives on time, I might still have the time to finish it that month. If not, then I'm gonna have to look for another book, and this TBR might turn out totally different. But so that one is definitely on my TBR as well. And then the final book that's coming out in February, I'm not going to be able to finish in February, so I won't discuss in this video. It'll be for the March video. But so yeah, those, what are they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books are on my February TBR, which is quite ambitious for me, let's say. So I don't know whether I'll be getting to those or not. If I have the time left, I think, I'm not sure, I won't promise anything, but I think I won't be able to keep myself from going for Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. It's come out in November or December, something like that, and absolutely everybody currently is reading it on BookTube. And so, since I'm a major Brandon Sanderson fan, I just want to get going and get rolling with that wagon and also read it. Part of me is like the old voice in me is saying, oh, but you've read already so much Brandon Sanderson this year, maybe you should diversify. But if you like it, why keep yourself from reading it? So I might get around to reading this in the month of February or not. A lot of people are saying that it is super fast paced and that they flew through it in like a day or two. So for me that will probably then be a day or 3, because I'm a bit slower in my reading. But in any case, if I have the time for it, I don't think I will be able to keep myself from it, because I've been considering it quite a bit already recently. So this might be on my February wrap up. But so these are the books that I want to be getting to in the month of February. My month of January TBR was way more realistic, I feel, but hey, this is how it turned out, and I hope to be getting to them, or at least a big part of them. So yeah, see you guys for my next video. I am shooting a reading vlog as well this weekend, so that should be coming your way quite soon as well. So bye!